Hey guys, welcome to the next episode in Let's Play Football Manager Return to Liverpool, and this is the season review for 2030-31. And we have, once again, won the Premier League. I think it's getting slightly predictable now. That's, I think, 7 in a row for me. Now, well, this one you see, on FM12, I always had competition. I mean, at this stage, I think it was around about this stage in FM12 when Tottenham got took over by Iranians, and I say that as if it's like a funny thing. They got took over by like some Iranian businessmen, and obviously became genuine forces in the world. I'm not saying they aren't now. I mean, they are. I think they're a very, very, very good team, Tottenham, and I'll always love watching them. Definitely the most entertaining team in the league, and have been for some years now. But they're not, obviously, they never reached the heights of what they were on FM12, of course. What I mean by that is Champions League winners. And, did that, I think they won the Champions League, twice? Could be wrong. But they also obviously contested the league. Now, Tottenham obviously have never got there on this save, but there's never been a team that has sort of replicated them. Now, Man City are, to a certain extent, there, but it's really a sort of yo-yoing thing with Man City and Chelsea. It's like sort of Chelsea will come down, they're not even in the Champions League, and then, but Man United have come back now. Aston Villa, look at that, are in the Champions League. In fact, we'll come back to that in a minute. We've also, obviously, City is second. Yes, they should have won the titles, and we should probably have not had as many as I have, because Chelsea and City have both essentially handed me the title on the last day of the season twice now. That's happened. Brighton are slipping away. What did it tell you about Arsenal as well? They are not quite in the bottom half. Bottom of the top there, I suppose, is what you'd say. But I don't know why what's happened to them. I guess I predicted that it was an aging team, that I'm not really seeing sort of improvements in that team. But the irony is they may have finished 10th, but if we just look at the stats real quick, this will give you an idea, obviously, of how I think they Hristov, the Bulgarian striker, finished with 30 goals, joint top, and obviously therefore I think top on less games. I think it takes into account. Barry Wallace finishing with 21. And that really was it. El Lopez and Wallace, obviously, with some nice stuff there as well. But that's just how the league sort of looks. And I just, my question would be, where do you think Arsenal would be if it weren't for Hristov? I don't think they were going to get relegated at any stage. I don't think they were ever in danger of that. Let's not get carried away here. But they were certainly, struggling. How many points? 40 points behind us, nearly. 41 points outside. And what about the Champions League? Well, they're not a million miles away from the Champions League. The 10 points, though, is a big gap, to be fair, from Aston Villa there in fourth. Incidentally, I talked about Aston Villa before on FM12 as well. We're going to go back to that for a minute. They, of course, were absolutely appalling on FM12. They got relegated in like the third season and never really came back. They sort of yo-yoed between the two leagues. But one thing I do want to do now as well is I realised the season reviews are normally as long as the February reviews. Obviously, that's because I do all the different things in it. But what I'm going to do now is I'm also going to show you the other leagues. I do occasionally like to do this. So this is the Premier League, and this is how it stands. How did the Championship finish? Well, the teams that are going to be coming up are Wolves, Sunderland, and Crewe. So it's again virtually the same teams. Huddersfield didn't get in. Incidentally, if you're wondering why Leeds are a slightly different colour there, that's because we're affiliated with them. Imagine that. Imagine Liverpool and Leeds affiliated. Never would have happened. No chance of that happening 20 years ago, or even 30 years ago. Crystal Palace, Carlisle are actually in the Championship. Well, not for much longer. Everton are struggling big time, and no, I've had no say in that at all. Once they got relegated, I was expecting them to bounce straight back, but no. They've come close. If I just show you last season as well, look at that. Everton, 21st, 1 point from going into League One. What's happened there? don't get me wrong, I find it funny, of course, but it's very strange to see. I never would have anticipated that happening to Everton. I don't think I ever will, at least for the foreseeable future. So yeah, fair play to Wolves, Sunderland and Crewe. Going into League One, Dover are actually going to come up. That's Dover. Definitely, yes, absolutely. Don't know how they... let me just put it this way. Where are they? Blue Square Bet South. They started in the Blue Square Bet South. Look at that, 2013. Winners 2013. They're now going into the Championship. Dover Athletic. Fair play to him. Also see Burnley and Exeter go up. QPR is still in there. Reading, Chester City there. They got Merchism. Predicts there with his Chester 10 out, really. We've got, who else? Who's going down? We've got Milton Keynes, Dons, Grimsby, Swindon and Brentford. And then in League 2, Tranmere are going back up to League 1. Fulham are also going to be promoted. So, God, I don't know what happens to them. AFC Wimbledon, Northampton. Sorry, Jake. Blackpool are all the way down in League 2. Strange. And yeah, and so is Sheffield United. And then the Blue Square Bet Premier League. I guess I'll have to show these. There's Southport. Bolton. Good God, what happened to Bolton? And there's Boreham Wood are going into the Football League. Boreham Wood. Doesn't sound right at all, does it? And Boston United, of course, from New England in America. Wow, Preston slid all the way down into... Well, I know, okay, they're getting promoted now, but wow, they were in the Blue Square Bet North. That's unbelievable. And then finally, South. No, I don't think there's any teams. No one really worth noting. Crawley Town have slipped. Wow. What's happened to them? They were like... they were in League 1, maybe even destined for the Championship at one point, but they're in the Blue Square South now. Oh dear. Anyway. Kingstonian. Sounds like a Victorian football club. Anyway, enough for that. Let's go over the managers also in the Premier League. Let's go over them. So now the City manager is no longer Roberto Mancini. He has finally retired. He stayed there all the way until he retired. So we now have Davide Astori, who is a young player at the start of the game. Well, actually, no, he's not a young player at all. That's a lie. He's reasonably young. But he's currently in real life, at least on the start of this game, at Cagliari. He then went to Barcelona and Juventus, who then retired 10 years ago. So he's not young at all. That's an absolute lie. But he looks like a good little player in the game, and maybe he'd be a decent manager. Didier Deschamps is still the United manager and doing a good job with them. The Aston Villa manager is Joe Thornton, someone who I've highlighted previously. Again, I think he was at... Oh, God, who was he? He's only 30-something, 37. Currently plays for Bury, apparently. He's been... Oh, has he always been Aston... Oh, sorry, he was at West Ham, and then... yeah, got sacked, and then he picked up Aston Villa and actually has done a pretty decent job. And he actually, believe it or not, won... Well, a couple of years ago, anyway, the Europa League. Wow, fair play to him. The Chelsea manager is Oleg Lushny. I think he's been there for a while. Still Derek McInnes as well at West Brom. Cardiff manager is still Neil Alexander. The Brighton manager is a different one this time. It's Adam McHugh. 39 years old. Where is he currently? He's at... sorry, I should be curious. That's very young player apparently at Hartlepool. Is that correct? Yeah, that looks like Hartlepool. Where's he been? Well, a lot of former West Ham managers. He's been all over the place, hasn't he? Look at that. Barnsley, Charlton, Forest, West Ham, and now Brighton. Oh my God. What the hell happened there? Oh, we're selling all these players. Whoa. What are you doing, man? Okay, you're raising a lot of money. Fair enough, but he's buying... He's buying players from Rangers for £10 million. What are you doing, man? No, you can't sell Andreas Alvarado. The hell's that from? Costa Rica? He's now at Man United. That's not good. I've never even seen the lad, but okay. £44.5 million, though. That's ridiculous. Season predicted 6th. What has happened to this team, man? And I still can't believe that he won that when I left. What has happened? I'm trying to find like the record signing thing, but I can't find it. I don't know where it is. There's no point in telling me in the comments till I finish the video by now. The Tottenham manager is someone new, Charlie Granger, which is a superbly English name, and that's also a fantastic Scottish name. Chucky Hamilton, love it. Who's he play for currently? He plays for Leyton Orient, and he appears to be the first line of youngsters, the sort of not regens, but like, would be regens if they weren't real. That doesn't make any sense, does it? But yeah, you know what I mean. Johnny Heitinger is the new Arsenal manager. Again, they seem to be going through managers like Brighton, really, to be honest. The Forest manager is Stephen Naismith, currently of Everton, of course. The West Ham manager is Paolo Di Canio. I think that is inevitable, and I think that will happen at some point. The Millwall manager is Steve McGinn, with a very serious look on his face. The Ipswich manager is Chris Powell. He's been there for a while. The Wigan manager is Joe Walsh, who's also been there for a while. The Blackburn manager is Tommy Rowe. Again, I'm not quite sure who that is. The Swansea manager is Joe Dawson. A lot of sort of like non-league / lower league players do tend to become good managers on this, I've noticed, which is fair enough. Mo Sharif. He's English. That's not a particularly English name, but never mind. He is at currently QPR, I would assume, as a youngster. Fair enough. Charlton manager is Fabian Delph. One of those players, of course, who was meant to be, England's bright prospect and then died on his arse. And then finally, the Newcastle manager, of course, who got relegated is Louis Meach, who currently plays for Woking. A lot of these now, players who were very young at the start are now becoming managers for the first time. Unfortunately, aren't doing a pretty good job. How about the Wolves manager? Let's see who comes up. It's Kyle De Silva, 37, favourite club's Northampton. Would assume they currently at Crystal Palace. Fair enough. The Sunderland manager is Danny Fox. Remember him. And the Crew manager is Jordan Sennett. He's actually done a really good job with them, if I recall correctly. Anyway, so there you go. That's the league. Now let's have a look then at the fixtures. How we got on. So we won the league, as you know. So that's always there. If we remember going towards the Capital One Cup, we unfortunately, we lost that semi-final, but we are into the final. So we have another opportunity to win the Capital One Cup. I think that will be 2 in a row if we do so. Let me just remember where we were. I think it was this game here against Brighton. This was the first game. So El Lopez got us a win. Barry Wallace did have a rare off day, but it was enough for us to win. The defence doing us good. Then a good 1-0 victory over Chelsea. Percy Allega with a good goal that gave us the victory at the I still can't get used to this, the Zola Arena. We then played, believe it or not, Sporting Lisbon again in the first knockout round, and once again we make very light work of them. I played the virtually full strength team. Richard Russell again, clear that, Champions League, big occasion in Portugal, 17 years old, man of the match. Oh, sorry, no, not man of the match, sorry, Kobe Morgan's man of the match. Russell was 8.7 rating, which, in case you don't know, is rather excellent. So that's 3-0, 3 away goals. I think that tie is virtually settled. And then, believe it or not, we won the Capital One Cup again. So the quad, is it on? Oh, no, it's not, sorry, it's not. We got knocked out of the FA Cup by Norwich. Simon Space Dodd. 2-0, yeah, excuse me, against Aston Villa. This was another one where I thought, balls, it's not going our way. If you look at the stats at the bottom here, we dominated, and I mean dominated this game. I've never seen a cup final. Well, actually, I have seen one-sided cup finals before. I remember on FN12. I can't remember who it was, but we played some on FN12 and absolutely destroyed them. It was like Man United Millwall 2004 all over again. Yeah, and as you can see, they did not have a single shot on target. And we had 22 shots, 58% possession, 9 shots on target, but it actually took us until the 100th minute in extra time before Dominic Kemp scored the winner, and then Anton Ivankovic got himself sent off for a stupid tackle, and unfortunately then Albert Kostrov, of course, did have the goal before that, but oh man, I really, 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 really thought this was not going to be our day, and I thought Villa are just going to break on the counter-attack. They only need one counter-attack, and actually nearly came close. I think Ronnie Roberts there, which is a great name, he came quite close and did score. I think he forced a good save at Spielmarkers, but apart from that, really nothing else from... Actually, was it even a save? Well, it was a save, but it wasn't on target, if you know what I mean. When the goalkeeper sort of unnecessarily dives. It was that, but that's all I can remember Aston Villa doing, and it was really that simple. I'll show you the goals. Apparently I can't show you goals from the Capital One Cup final. I really don't know why. I don't know, maybe that it doesn't like it, I don't know. The Capital One Cup doesn't matter. The next game then was at Man City. Now this is a massive game, which we actually did win very handsomely in the end, 4-2. Kemp, Lopez and Allega scoring. We'll show you these goals. Spielmarkers, as you can see, 8.4, very good performance, and there's someone whose name's blocked out. I'm going to assume that's Lopez. or yeah, was it Oraliga? But yeah, lovely setup there from Kemp. Liga storming in. Nightmare start, 5 minutes gone, Man City 1-0 down to a Percy Liga goal. And that's the kind of, start we needed. I always set it at now attacking. You always got your starting tactic. Mine's always attacking now, so I like to just sort of come at the opposition like a bulldozer and say, right, here we go. Because I've got the pace. We've got the pace and the players now to do it. I mean, that was lucky. I'll admit. That was a very poor header. I don't know what it was from Lopez or Sergio, whoever that was, with the poor header, but went straight to Lopez. Very poor defensive header, and we got the goal. And again here, lucky to Dominic Kemp, but it's a good finish. They still don't take anything away from Dom Kemp there. Very, very good finish, and that's 3-0. And to be fair, almost all the goals were given to us on a silver player. But Neil Dill, excellent player, and that's to be fair, a good finish there from, he's saying this guy's name, Chatsitanafanu. There you go, I got it. But Lopez got his second there with a penalty. Doesn't show you the build-up, but never mind. And here's City's. Actually, there was a red card in the process there, but it won't show you that because apparently it's not goal. But it's not that important. And in the end, it really wasn't important. It was actually, I do even want to see this. No, you don't, do you? Who cares about Man City's goal? 4-2, so a good result in the end. And then another game against Aston Villa. Vadim Glukov got 2, and Barry Wallace with another one to add to his collection as we pressed on. And then Sporting Lisbon played once again a young team. I'm going to refer to it as young team now, not weak team, because these youngsters are far from weak. Gaston Ruiz, though, who was crying out for first team football. I will admit I'm still struggling. I think the squad is a little bit too big for me now. It is not for me to handle, but within my reasons and abilities. Sorry, I've just seen this guy's name. I just remembered. Sorry, remember the first time I saw it, I burst out laughing. It's like a Harry Potter spell. Rondinelli. What's that about? Sorry, it's just a funny name. I'm sorry. I will admit, as I say, the squad now, it is probably a bit too big for my liking, so I might have to remove 1 or 2 players. But I don't want to because they're all good. Well, most of them are anyway. But I'll show you. Actually, no, I won't show you the goals because they're just penalties. To be fair, Good Eve, who has done really well. He will drift away slightly now for a bit, and then he will come back with a flourish. Let me tell you, his match fitness gets down. And that's one thing I really do hate about FMC. Is if you go on the normal game, of course, there is that option to all players needing match fitness available for the reserves. There is nothing, as far as I'm aware, that will let you do this for FMC. You have to do it manually. Now, that involves very tediously clicking on each player going, Z match fit, yep, Z match fit, yep, Z match fit. You have to just keep going on every single player. I mean, obviously, you can tell from the condition, but, that could be 20 players. And that's you sat there for 5-10 minutes, just click on each player. It's no, come on, I want to go on with the game. FMC is meant to be about speed and productivity. You're meant to be able to get through a season in 8 hours or whatever it is. And most of the time, it's even quicker than that if you've got a good computer. So I ended up just sort of thinking, sod it, I'll just click on I'll do 2 or 3 players, let them play for the reserves. But then the problem is, you think, okay, actually, I've got to give this player first team football, but because the reserve system is so shit, and the reserve team plays on the same day as the senior team, the players then become ineligible for the first team, and you can't play them because they're ineligible. And it's well, hang on, he's not match fit, and I'm trying to give him match fitness by making him available for the reserves, but he can't play because he's played for the reserves. It's stupid. So anyway, I'm just moaning now. Instantly, here we go. Barry Wallace, hat-trick at Millwall, and Gordon and Lopez also scoring, but also missing a penalty there. But Penandez also scoring, putting through his own net. 1-1 draw at Perryman Stadium. I don't want to say White Hart Lane, but I'm still not saying these stupid names they give to the stadium. Lopez salvaging us a point. Spit it out. Lino's come on and done really well. Bunyak has sort of faded away. He's strange. He was really, really, really good when I first came in. He was very impressive and an exceptionally good winger. But now he's drifted away and not really, he still is capable. He will cut inside and hammer blow in a goal, but he does seem to have lost a lot of that, over the last few years. Newcastle, this was one I was very worried about because I could have played a much younger team here, but I didn't. Well, still pretty young. I've still got, Good Eve, who's only young, Crowder, Benito, Russell, Lenore, who's young, Carlos, Tabaka, Agito, Velioglu. They're all young, but it was the reason I was worried because it was. Sorry, I totally forgot to say, because it's first versus 20th. Now, anytime I've done that in the past, it's always, especially when it's, well, this one was at Anfield, so it wasn't too bad. But anytime I've done that in the past, it's always like never a formality. You always expect it to be like, 5-0, I'm going to trounce this team, and it'll be really fun to watch, and it never is. But this one, thankfully, was a rarity. Russell, in fact, I'll show you the goals. Go on then, hopefully, if I'm allowed, if it wants to. I think sometimes, look at that. I don't know why. I was going to say sometimes it just sort of has a hissy fit and won't let you watch it, but it just won't load the Capital One Cup final goals. Strange. Anyway, Richard Russell's an absolute expert already. He's only 17, but he's an expert at being on the sort of just darting around the edge of the box. Ball comes to him and pow into the back of the net straight away, low and hard. Now, actually this goal as well was right after the half-time kickoff. Start of the second half. That's a better way of saying it, isn't it? And yeah, I mean, I'm playing Bunyak here, and he's getting older now, but doesn't mean at all, or even should never mean really that he's getting worse. He's 31 now. He's arguably in his peak, but he's not really showing it. But he does show it occasionally. Lovely goal this from Lopez. Sort of, I don't know if it was a dummy or what he does, but he sort of holds the ball up, feints it a bit. I'll use that word, feint. That's a good one. And then hammers it in. So a nice way from him. He's been a good signing. I mean, I know he sort of his sort of transfer fee was a bit weird. We bought him originally years ago. I mean, obviously this was not me. This was Slaven Bilic. Of course, bought him and then sold him on for £3 million profit, despite looking very impressive. I then bought him back for I think it was like £4 million more than we sold him for. So I don't really know. I mean, that's what, £1 million, £1 million loss for a poor decision. I guess that's not too bad, but we did lose out on probably a number of goals. So I don't know. Look, I'm not taking responsibility for it. It's Slaven Bilic's fault. It's the CPU's fault. And may have had to go at Bunyak, but he certainly put a nice goal in there. And it's Asier Pereira, who of course used to play for us and was a little bitch. He got injured. We then played, again, not a particularly hard run here, against Schalke in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Yaya Toure got 2 and Lopez continued his scoring streak. He's been very, very impressive this season, as El Lopez. And then this was just a random blip. I was worried that this was going to be one of those sort of late season, you crawl over the line things, but this team's too good for that now. This is just one of those instances where the game's like, you know what? You're not scoring today. You're not going to win. I'm going to get you in the arse. And it's like, this is just one of those games where it is the game was just like, nah, nope, I'm winning. I'm going to win. No, I'm going to win. And yeah, I don't know. Probably, I think it was down to a slight lack of, poor defending, I guess. I mean, Spielmarkers did nothing wrong. Yusuf Tage was a little bit off. Hernan Godoy, well, I don't think the injuries helped either. If you look at sort of 2 half injuries and Crowder got injured, Barry Wallace was also off. So yeah, this was just a random blip. But if you look in the big scheme of things, once this review's over, you'll be able to see that this was just a very random blip that the game likes to do sometimes, and that sort of shows off its it's more evidence, I suppose, to show that the game is actually a very random scripted piece of bullshit. No, not really. I'm only kidding. The Champions League quarter-final second leg then resulted in a 2-0, so that's like 5-0 aggregate win over Schalke. I don't know how they got this far because they are shite. I mean, really poor. Kyle Agito again impressing. Richard Russell again impressing. He got man of the match. I think, got it right this time. Ruiz and Lopez with the goals. And Dominic Goodeve, now as you can see, starting to come back in and actually do a decent job. 3-0 against West Ham. Goodeve, there you go. We got 2 goals, just as speak of the devil, with 2 and Lopez scoring 2. I think I may have even played him up front, actually, because he was moaning at me saying, look, I want to leave. I nearly clicked confirm when doing that as well. I could have sold him off and got a fairly handsome profit on him. I could have sold this lad for about £9 or £10 million. That's his value, and he's not even that good, but he's worth £10 million. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because he's a youth product of the champions or whatever, but he's got good value on him, and I can certainly sell him. But if you remember, he's an absolute replication, he's a clone of, if you remember on FM12, Jason Malone, if you remember him, came through the youth ranks, wasn't all that great. In fact, he was absolutely identical. He played in exactly the same positions as him. Obviously, he was later on adapted as a winger as well. But he could play up front, but he could play in the centre midfield. And I was struggling to find where he should play. And not only did he also come through the youth ranks, he wasn't that great. But you know what? He'd play his heart out. And he'd do well every game nearly. And he looked impressive, and I just couldn't find the heart to sell him. And Dom Goodeve here is an absolute spitting image of him. Absolute clone. So it's deja vu, I suppose. Next game then, 2-1 against Cardiff. Junior, my son, and Ruiz scoring there. Again, playing Luis George, who's yet to find the net, which is slightly concerning. Paid £14 million for him. Oh dear. And then semi-finals then. So we actually got 2-0. El Lopez again. We'll show you these goals against Barcelona. Now Barcelona, oh god, it's the hideous sunrise Sahara Desert bullshit colours on there. I don't know why I keep saying bullshit. Turning into the top man. It's a horrible kit there. But yeah, Lopez scoring. Barcelona are weird because they're still really good. They are good. They're just not what they are now. You know, I mean, let's be honest, I don't think Barcelona will ever be as good as they are now ever again in the future. Well, actually, no, I'm not saying anything, actually. I take that back. Completely take that back. I mean, that was lucky. I'm not going to lie. That was lucky. But it's a lovely goal for the first one. And, hey, you know what? They never had a shot on target. El Lopez has run the show this season, and he's been fantastic. 2-1 against Wigan. Camarota and Ruiz giving us the victory. Antonin Vankovic unfortunately got injured, but Aguito again performing well. And here's another one for you. There's Boccolini or Bocciolini. I'm not quite sure how to say the double C, so please inform me if you are Italian or speak Italian. And then, yes, we did advance to the Champions League final with a 4-2 victory in the Nou Camp. Lopez with another 2, so we got a hat-trick technically over the two legs. Wallace getting his, obviously, token goal, and Vadim Glukov making sure of it. Vlad Gordon, very good performance from him. So we're into another Champions League final. That's 4 in a row, and my 6th final. Surely we can't lose this one. Well, I'll come back to this in a moment then. Surely not. Now, this was the game. Believe it or not, we won the title at Old Trafford. Yes. I'll show you this. This is funny because I was playing this all in one go, and you know the whole the winning the league and the Champions League finals, and I thought, right, I want to do something on this. I want to find out if Liverpool have ever won the title at Old Trafford. Any of them 18 titles at Old Trafford, or vice versa, whether United have won the title at Anfield. Now, I know Blackburn won the title at Anfield, but that doesn't count because Kenny Dalglish was the manager, and therefore we all were happy. But a lovely header there from Fabio. We were really up against it. Now, you saw there, Gonzalez got sent off for Man United, and we were really up against it. They were pressing and pressing and pressing. We just couldn't find that goal. And then Fabio from a corner. He's not a normal... You know, oh dear. You can see, I don't know what happened there. That was a big camp for me, wasn't it? I wasn't expecting that, you know. Sorry, that was terrible. Yes, totally got distracted now. Fabio's not usually a header of the ball, you know, he's usually sort of on the edge of the box, or, you know, one waiting to cross it in, but he's in there with a terrific header, saving us a point. And what that meant was, I think City got held as well. Yeah, City got held at the last minute by... Who do you think? Brighton. They gave us the title. City were on course to take it to the final day of the season when Mohamed Atalay, I think it was Atalay, I could be wrong, it might have been Palacios actually, I can't remember. I'm thinking, why did I say Atalay? I think Atalay scored at one of the goals. I'll show you this in a minute, but don't want to spoil anything. I think they scored in the 90th minute, which meant that we weren't catchable then. So, that was it. We won the title at Old Trafford. Now, as I say, I checked out, and I don't think as far as I could see on the Wikipedia page, if you go to the Liverpool Manchester United rivalry page, and yes, there is a Wikipedia page about that. It's a Wikipedia page. I'm sure there's probably a Wikipedia page from me probably by now. It actually shows you, it's like, you know, historic meetings or, you know, important meetings, and it was showing you like the FA Cup finals and the League Cup finals and games, big Premier League games, you know, like the 4-1 from a few years ago, the 3-3 in the 90s, the 2-3-3s in fact in the 90s, you know, all that. But at no point did it say X team beat Y team at Z ground, to win title. So I think that is arguably a first. We won the title at Old Trafford, which I don't think will ever happen, but that would be nice, eh? And then it took us to the final game of the season, which I obviously rested everyone for the Champions League final, and actually we still managed to win, which is excellent. Dominic Kemp coming off the bench to give us a victory, as obviously Graham Stevens scoring an own goal there. So that was nice. Well done, Dominic Kemp. Now, the Champions League final. I've yet to win it, so I've technically yet to join the elite on this. Now, I won it many, many times on FM12, and I think I won it once on FM11. But I've yet to win it. I got to the 2 finals with Brighton, losing to Barcelona in 2022. I know the dates now because I checked it out so much. And then, of course, losing to Manchester United in 2025. But for the last 3 years now, since being Liverpool manager, I won the Europa League in my first season. Then we got to the Champions League. And every Champions League final and every Champions League campaign since I've got to the final only to be defeated. Of course, we lost to Lyon. We lost to Real Madrid, and we've lost to Chelsea. Of course, losing the latest one to Real Madrid in the Atatürk Stadium, of course, in Istanbul, where that night happened in 2005. So and I thought it was written in the stars there, but let me tell you now, I've never been so pumped up for a game of Football Manager in all my life. I was watching motivational speeches, I was listening to music, I had the penalty shootout between Basel and Tottenham on behind me. Man, I was ready. So could I finally win the Champions League at the 6th attempt and give Liverpool their 6th Champions League? No. I still can't win the thing, man. I still can't win. I don't know what it is. There's a jinx. There's a jinx. Chelsea have won it again. That's the second time Chelsea have beaten me now. And believe it or not, that's their 4th Champions League. Check this out. I'll show you the goals in a minute. But look, 4 times. That's like one behind us. What's going on? Literally, I hate you so much. In fact, no, I hate even more Paul McFucking-Donnell. You know what the really sad thing is as well? Look. He did really well as well. It's like Nicolas Anelka. Well, they're better, in fact, than Nicolas Anelka. But that's not the point. After all that, I was so mentally exhausted watching this game. I was watching Any Given Sunday, Al Pacino. I was watching Bill Shankly. I was watching Dalglish. I didn't watch One Night in Istanbul. That was just shit. That was just stupid. I was watching all sorts of speeches and documentaries. I even watched a documentary lately on Elijah Scott, the first what Liverpool described as king of the cop. One of the big players who sort of engaged in this mythos of the cop. And I watched that documentary earlier in the day, and I was up for it. I was ready. I'd urge you, if you are a Celtic fan or a Northern Irish or even Irish football fan and Liverpool fan, I urge you to check him out. It's very, very early days of football. Like pre-First World War even, for some of it. But I urge you to check him out. He's very good. And yeah, there we go. Look at that. We got in the lead now. Kobe Moorman, right on. Well, to start the second half, Porter's in the lead. Barry Wallace with a terrific header. Let me tell you now, when them goals went in, I was going crazy. I was like, finally, can I win this? And then no, Till Spielmarkers, what are you doing? What a goal, though. What a goal, to be fair, from Mason. Mason, or whatever he's called. That is, it's a good goal, yes. But, man, what are you doing, Till? And then Barry Wallace so close to getting in there, but oh, God. I know what he's trying to do. It was, in fairness, a good clearance. It just so happened to go straight to a Chelsea man. And then, if you look here, there was like one big highlight at the end. What this goal killed was that tiny little... That wasn't even a highlight. That was just a tactical change, I think. Look at that. He got bought out of his position. Martino made him... he was like, I've got the ball here, I'm coming. Challenge me, motherfucker. He played the ball into McDonald, totally deceiving the centre-back. And I tell you what, I was gutted. I can't believe it. Look. Let me just go back here. This is ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. Champions League. 4 times. 4 times with the same club. And And now don't forget the other two as well. Look, Brighton in Moscow and Bernabeu against United and Barca. But look, what I love the best though is 2027. Yes, I won the Europa League with Liverpool. Yeah, fair enough. Brighton, the moment I leave them, they win the Champions League. I know, so what to do to win the Champions League? I've got to leave the club, is basically what I'm saying. Oh man, seriously, I just can't believe this. This is insane. I can't win it. I've been jinxed. There's a curse somewhere. One of yous has put a fucking curse on me, and I will hunt you down. No. No, seriously though, if you put a curse on me, stop it. You're toying with my emotions. Well, that is the season review. Won the league and the League Cup, but Champions League final, still can't win. Chelsea, and also, to add insult to injury, Chelsea finished 5th outside of the Champions League places. Knock Aston Villa. Yes, they may have finished 4th. They get Champions League for the first time in like 30 odd years. But no, Chelsea knocked them down to Europa League, of course, because they won the Champions League. Therefore, they swap positions basically with Aston Villa. How gutted would you be? Also, Swansea and Wigan go into the Europa League alongside West Brom and probably Cardiff, or Aston Villa and West Brom. I think we have like 5 Europa League places for some reason. It came with that. If I just show you the FA Cup, where's it gone? I'd just click on FA Cup. Believe it or not, the winners were Wigan. Look at this for the final. How shit a final would this be? Wigan versus West Ham. No disrespect to either club, but come on. Look at the finals we've had. Look, Liverpool, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea United. That's the same clubs in it, really. Let's be honest. I suppose it's better than the same old teams every year. But good grief. I don't know why Swansea got it. Swansea apparently were in the Europa League as well. They did have EC. I know it's not there anymore, but they did have EC. I don't know if you look. See, Europa Cup. I don't know why. Trying to remember. They didn't get to the League Cup final. We beat Villa. So hang on. No. Seriously, why did Swansea get Europa League? Look, see, they're in the first qualifying round. I actually do. Oh, I know. It'll be what's it called, FIFA Fair Play thing, won't it? Let's find out. Hang on, I'm sure that there's a thing down here. I'm trying to find it. It won't actually. Yeah. Club rankings. We're instantly first now in the club rankings overall. I mean, you can't look at it. So, let's see. Allocation of 3 places. Yeah. Please ignore all the bids and stuff. They don't mean anything. It's all young kids. Torre, as I say, got himself sent off. That, I think, killed it. I absolutely think killed it. See, look, I fined him and everything. I just couldn't. I mean, it was a 2-footed tackle, so I'm not going to come out and say it wasn't a foul, because it was. It really was. But I don't know where it was, but they must. I can only assume it's via FIFA Fair Play, because there's no reason for them to get into it. Anyway, that is going to do it from me. Still no Champions League. And I will not join the elite. I cannot be considered a good manager on this until I've won the Champions League. Not that I consider myself a good manager anyway, but that's not the point. I know a few people do. So if you do, then don't, because I haven't won the Champions League yet. I should do with this team. These have got some phenomenal teams. Incidentally, also Barry Wallace, in case you are wondering, yes, he is now Liverpool's all-time top goal scorer. I am that boring and that dull and that anal that I actually checked out and added up all his goals, and he has now got like 300 odd goals, 320 goals, which is like 40 more than Roger Hunt, or 400. Sorry, it might be 400. I can't remember the exact specs, but he's beaten Roger Hunt's record, or whoever holds. I think it's Roger Hunt. I can't remember. Anyway, I'm rambling now. So thank you for watching. I will see you next time.